Hey, good Saturday morning. It's November 5th. The $1 billion, actually it's probably going to be closer to over $1.5 billion Powerball tonight. Got me 5 tickets, what the hell. If I win, you probably won't ever see me again. But if I don't, I'll be out here on He Hate Me. So let's review what we got going on. Okay. The VS Racing Turbo is in. Well, it's not in the car, it's in the garage. So I gotta lower it down a little bit. I got from Ace Race Parts, since I got a little rambunctious with welding the other day and actually welded the 90s into this, which probably wouldn't be too bad, but I also noticed this 90s I got off Amazon really low quality. So this is a 3-inch V-band, 2.5-inch pipe. It's got a nice little register in there to stick the pipe in. So from Ace Race, got these really nice, got 4 of them, may need more, stainless 90s. These are so much nicer than the ones I got off of Amazon. They're a little bit more, but what the hell, they're the ones on Amazon have a seam, and I noticed the one I welded really good. That wouldn't be impossible to get it back out, but would be hard, probably mess up that V-band. This welded seam is only welded about half the thickness of the pipe. So if it's 16 gauge, I don't know, it's probably only welded about 24 gauge thickness. So I got thinking that probably would not last. These don't have a visible seam. These are really nice. They're not mirror shiny like those, but they're hefty, hefty, hefty. So got that. So first thing we'll do is tack one of those into this. Actually, I might not, because I need to figure out where the turbo is going to sit, and probably, I don't know, probably will tack that heavy duty 90 into the header, and then somehow then snake up and over here. Turbo's rotated a little bit. There we go. Get it more like that. Probably get it out here somewhere. So I need to slide the cherry picker back. But yeah, it would go out here somewhere. The exhaust will come out and make the turn around. Just got to make sure it's low enough that it'll clear the hood and the oil line won't hit the hood. Okay. Oh, stop. All right. A little evening. Are you serious? This damn regulator is getting on my nerves. Okay. Alright, Saturday evening update. Been out there a lot later than normal. Let's get this piece of tubing out of the way. I'll show you where the turbo is going to live, I believe. Alright, I believe that's where the turbo is going to live. It's going to clear the belt and the belt tensioner. Can notch out that and feed the intercooler. Exhaust probably is going to go out the fender. If not, it's going to have to run really, I bet it's going to have to run really high up in here to make sure it stays clear of the tire. So there's that. It goes up in there. And we'll do it from this side. I got to get the other pipe into this hole. There's that. This is not a piece of pipe I'm using, but this will give you the idea. This is going to run down. There we go, like this. It's not going to point down like that, but it's going to get kind of halfway under the balancer, kind of go around the balancer, come back out on this side, go up over the frame. I pie cut that piece, which I'm not really happy with, but if I can weld the gap up, it'll be okay, because that is some heavy duty stainless steel elbows. This one's pretty good. Everything's just tacked. Got the LS3 water pump on, the Camaro water pump. Had to modify the alternator mount. I think it's going to work. And I figured out the belt routing. I thought I was going to have to get, I think it's Dirty Dingo makes a idler pulley. You see I had to cut the idler pulley off. idler pulley relocation, but I don't think I need one. Okay, this belt's just a little bit too short. But I go around the tensioner, under the water pump, around the crank, around the alternator. I want to get enough tension on it. Doesn't come near the bolt. Doesn't come near enough to the water outlet, just to make sure the radiator hose clamp is not all the way back there. Or if it is, that the the threads on it, the nut, is not over into the belt. But I think that's going to work. Made a little boo-boo right there, that notch. I'll just clean that up. This is a Fox body belt I had left over. I think this is the Fox body with a billet manual tensioner. It looked cool, but after I did it, I was like, damn, I always got to adjust the belt. If I want to take the belt off, it's a pain in the booty. So I took that back off, put the stock one back on, but I kept the belt. Okay, so I've been working on the last couple of minutes is cutting off a piece of tubing, and we'll see if it's close to being right. Let's see, maybe I can let you look through the headlight opening. Whoa, you got it through there. Okay, Saturday evening, a lot of stuff going on. My wife is depressed because Tennessee got stomped. Mississippi State taking care of business, they should, and a team that's in disarray, they better not goof around and do something stupid like get the game close or lose. If we win tonight, we'll be bowl eligible, which for State is most fans, I think, are with me. Let's go to a bowl. Let's celebrate. Some people are not wanting to give up the money for the NIL's fund, but want to complain when we don't win. So anyway, there's my turbo flange. Kind of see it peeking through under there. I got the pipe that's going to the driver's side, sneaks through there. I think I'm going to put a wastegate in here somewhere. Got to make sure it clears the air intake and the radiator. Probably put a wastegate over here somewhere. Maybe coming off in here. Point this way a little bit. So I'll be a little bit out of the way, but I got to watch out for that belt. I'll have to measure that, go get an actual belt and put the belt on, make sure it doesn't hit anything else. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I think the LS3 water pump's going to work out good. I got a straight water neck. I don't know what the stock thermostat is, but I'll probably go to a cooler thermostat, maybe like a 170 or 180. I think stock's probably close to 200. Seems like most engines now are close to 200, if not over 200. I'll clean up that alternator bracket just a touch more. Pretty much I think this whole thing is getting painted black. Everything's going to be black. So we've always done it that way. If you paint everything black, guess what else is black? Oil. So if it leaks, you don't see the leaks. So, and I kind of made a big ass goofy cut over here. Not real happy with that, but tomorrow I'll probably try to weld that up. If I can weld it up, I'm not gonna worry about it. If not, I'll order another 90. Like, so these are really tight radius, really high quality 90s from Ace Race. I'll put a link down in the video for those. This where I also got the 3-inch V-band to 2.5-inch tube reducers, which are really good quality parts. Got these crappy V-bands on. I got some better V-bands. These have got some kind of crimp nut, and I don't want to take the good ones and wear the crimp nuts out. Taking them on and off while I'm mocking it all up, fabricating it all up. But yeah, that's some good progress today. Kept saying I don't want the exhaust out the fender, but I'm gonna have to get wheels and tires. I've got wheels. They're back in an early video where I test fit them on the with the Fox body brakes and calipers, and They're Jegs Star wheels, SSR Stars, something like that. But if you read the fine print, they're cast aluminum. They use acorn nuts. They're not recommended for drag racing. And the fact that I really want to put down 650, 700, 750 horse, I think I'm going to take their word for it. So I've got some Steelies on it. I think I'm going to go roll with that. I'm going to get a steel front wheel, see if it clears the brakes. If it doesn't clear the brakes, I guess I could get a 17-inch Steely. Wouldn't be the end of the world. Guess I've got 28s on the back. I guess I'm going to go with 25 or 26-inch diameter on the front. I probably would like a taller tire, but I'm afraid it's going to get into the turbo where I want to run the exhaust. Tomorrow I'll probably take the car and let it down. I also have to make some kind of mount to support the weight of the turbo. So it's not just hanging off all that stuff over there, breaking that. Good afternoon. Sunday, November 13th. Been at the turbo HOTSIDE for a week. Let's turn on some light. All right. So, this is the Orgasmatron I've come up with. I've got it tucked up behind the balancer, trying to make room for the radiator and fans. My problem is this and that are really limiting me. I've picked out a radiator. Well, I picked out a radiator from Summit that had passenger outlet, driver inlet, since I have a LS3 water pump, water hose like that. I have a straight neck I got from Jegs. It'll come out. But the problem when I stuck it's almost a 28-inch wide radiator, which I was going to have to notch the frame rails, which is not a big deal. I could notch the frame rails, come out, go down. But the radiator, is like that thick, and the water neck, even though it's angled, was pointed right at that, which is not good. So I'm going to send that radiator back. Thanks Summit for easy returns. I found one on Speedway Motors. That's 26 inches wide. So my thought is, I might notch the frame rail over here, slide the radiator as far to the right as I can to get the lower radiator hose clear of that. I'll have to come down somehow and loop around that and get into the radiator. If that doesn't work, I'll probably have to maybe take the radiator to a radiator shop and get them to put a neck on it that turns almost 90 and is shorter. I could do that. The other thing is to shorten it, somehow put a bead on it so the hose doesn't blow off. I think it'll work. I can drop it fairly low in the chassis. So I got a 19-inch tall core, so I think it's a 19 and a half, 20-inch tall radiator. So it's fairly tall for this chassis. Of course, the other thing is 90% of the time when the engine's running, it's going to be a 320, 350 horse engine. Not a lot of cooling capacity, big time in lead cooling capacity. 6.5 seconds on an eighth mile, 9.5, 10 seconds on a quarter mile. I think it'll be fine. I guess we'll find out, especially if we were to take it to like Rocky Mountain Race Week out west in the mountains, find out how it cools. But yeah, right now that's where it is. I've got a Flex Bellows. I got I don't know if you can tell, real shiny stainless, kind of brushed stainless. I got these and this from Ace Race Parts. These are 16 gauge, tight 90s. They're the real tight radius 90s. They are super quality, so shout out. There's another one. So 1, 2, 3. I cut one of them up, ruined it. The shinier ones are from Amazon. They're not terrible, but some of the 90s, they're obviously seam welded, and the seams worried me that they weren't even welded halfway through. They were like only welded like 24 gauge worth. So it's all just tacked in place right now. Got to build a bracket somehow to support the turbo out there since it's cantilevered out. I I think what I'm going to doing is these, you can see it back in there, the motor mounts on this AJE K member have rubber bushings in them. I think I'm going to take them out. So the engine will be solid. If it's solid, then I'll just mount a bracket off of the frame rail right there and support the turbo. If not, the engine will flex and it'll probably cause more damage by supporting to the frame, which is not flexing with the engine. If I have to do that, which the turbo is just hanging from the cherry picker right now, so don't worry about that. But you know, there's nothing over here on this head. I could make a bracket that goes on the head and then comes out and supports the turbo. But I think what I'll do is we're going to make the engine rigid in the chassis. I said rigid. And then just support it off the frame. Be much simpler. I just took off the fender apron from the driver's side headlight bezel, whatever you'll call it, bucket bezel, because that's not the bucket. So I can put the other fender on, the driver's side fender, put that on, put my removable radiator core support back on, just to make sure when I get the radiator, that it fits, and I have room for intercooler, the grill, and the bumper. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell. Does this one ring like the other one? Ring the bell. Yes.